forward the report to the council, and you can read it, and if there's any additional, or you want more expansion, we can provide that.
Alderman Knipe.
Yeah, I have a one-word comment, micromanaging. Thank you.
Alderman Sharkey.
I'd just like perhaps to put it on the agenda for next week so we can think about it for a week, or for actually 2 weeks. And if that's what we'd like to do with the report, that's fine. But to give us all a chance to think about it rather than throwing it out immediately.
Will you put it on the agenda, Mr. Manager?
Okay, you'd like it on the finance?
Yeah, on the
agenda?
Finance and Administration would be fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alderman Ptolemy.
Is that the May meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Are there any other items? Okay, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
On the question, all in favor? Opposed, motion carries.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still got this.
I'd like to call the Public Health and Judiciary Committee order. Let the minute taker take that the same people are present. I need a motion to approve the minutes on March 22nd, 2007.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Report and recommendation of a citizens survey. In your packet, you received a survey that was directed Jeff to bring back to the city council for approval of what should be taken off, what may be added. And I believe this is the final copy that he is presenting, and he's looking for our approval to send this out. Am I correct, Jeff?
You are correct. There's really two reasons why it's before you today. One, as Alderman Wesley pointed out, for an opportunity for the council or the committee to give input on the survey before I finalize it. And two, the logistics as far as if council or if committee wants to provide an incentive for residents to complete the survey. Those are the two reasons that it's back.
Is there any questions on the survey? Alderman Short?
Not on the survey itself, but what kind of incentive could we give without costing a lot of staff time as we're talking?
Well, originally we talked about, I remember doing a $5 rebate on the utility bill. And the way we were going to distribute the survey initially, I think in this memo it says through the newsletter. Not sure if it's updated or not. But since then we got the cost on that, and it may be logistically easier and cheaper to actually incorporate it into the utility bill. That way everybody will get it through the utility bill, and it's a much simpler process to do it that way.
So everybody would get it, whether they
Anybody that gets a utility bill.
would get the $5?
No, anybody who gets the utility bill would get the survey
Okay,
and an opportunity to submit the survey for a $5 rebate
so it
on the utility bill.
wouldn't be that expensive just to pull those out who gave the survey and take the
We're
$5 off the next bill.
We're still waiting on the cost from Third Millennium to incorporate the survey into the bill, but we're not anticipating any postage costs. There would be postage would be paid for by the payee.
But it will only, I'm sorry, it will only go in, the $5 rebate will only be the people that give back the survey. Will not
Exactly,
be
with their utility
citywide,
bill.
With the
yes.
utility bill. On the winger.
I have two items. Okay, not everyone gets a utility bill in the city of Wooddale. And there's several residents that do not get a utility bill. So in those cases, like in a high rise, what's the plan? Is it that you're gonna run off 134 copies and hand deliver them to the building and say, please distribute to the residents so they can participate in a survey?
We can possibly do that, yes.
Okay. I mean, I think that would be acceptable if you
I mean,
just
for
targeted
a
those
majority
areas.
of the surveys, this would work well, but of course, there's always somebody that's going to be left out. We can certainly look into that.
Right. I'm saying that there's large chunks that would be left out. It's not 1 out of 13,000.
Well, that's why in the memo we originally were going to do the newsletter because we thought maybe
Right.
that would reach a wider array of of residents, but logistically, that just wasn't a good idea after we looked into it.
And is it okay if I follow up with my,
Go ahead.
my second thing? But even if we did use a newsletter and just took out a little bit of content for one quarter, I mean, or for, you know, the next edition, I'm not sure how much we would really be giving up, but this was a thought. But to follow up on the survey itself, I was happy with the content. I thought that we touched on some, you know, town center type of topics to really get a feel for what residents want. So I thought that was good. And you might want to even add in a more pointed question about the garbage cans to really specifically say, are you interested in buying a garbage can for $50? Yes or no? If yes, please sign your name. So we'll know if there are really 400 residents that are going to want garbage cans before we go buying in bulk. Thank you.
Can I'm going to interrupt here. The utility bills, I agree with that. Not everyone gets utility bills. But when the surveys come back, if I ain't mistaken on the survey, it's going to give you address where they're coming back from. Maybe we can mail them back a rebate check for $5. Or could we not do that?
I don't think we want to get into that. I'd have to
Okay.
discuss it with Ms. Powers.
Okay, well, I wasn't sure. Maybe we could do it that way, but obviously I got the grumbling up here, so I guess not. Anyone else? Only Shark.
Yeah, just to add a comment section at the end. I'm sure you're going to do it anyway, but
Okay. Alderman Knight.
Yeah, nobody's addressed, what about renters in town? I think we have a fairly substantial number of renters. How we reach them? They don't get utility bills?
That's why we're having the discussion. We apparently didn't cover that contingency. There's a couple ways we can do that. We can distribute it to the areas we know because we're going to be doing rental inspections. That could be one way we could do it, and then trying to come up with a way we can compensate those people. We will look into that. That's a good suggestion.
Any other discussion? Alderman Coles.
Part of the federal government. If you ask them, where's the Senate, and they say, I don't know anything about that. You've never been in a school where the kids don't know anything about it. Who's the governor? I don't know who the governor is. Who's the president? I don't know that either. And this is normal. I mean, you got, I agree that it should be in there, but people are gonna read that and they ain't gonna ask. Seriously.
Well,
I mean, we know, and a lot of us know, but a lot of people don't know anything about the federal government, or they don't know anything about the state. They don't care.
the reason it's in there is it's kind of like a control question where if somebody puts that they have a distaste for the state government and a distaste for the federal government, and then they say Wooddale government is excellent, then that just makes us look better.
I know, it's a good idea, but I'm just saying, 90% of people don't know anything about the state. Good, sir.
Mr. Williams.
Yes, keep in mind that this is actually a national survey. This was designed by the National Survey experts, and it was then boiled down to fit Wooddale. So some of these questions, you're absolutely right, and we really like this because we had tried on 2 other occasions to survey the community, and it's absolutely important that we do this on a regular basis and we have the proper document. We went through having students design it and do all this stuff, and by checking resources, we were able to come up with this, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of results we get.
Alderman Shark.
we could take that to extremes and put down the county government, township government, school, everything else. So I'm not sure how far to go with that.
Okay. Jeff, you're looking for the approval of this survey, right, tonight?
Yeah, approval of the
not-
survey, and then we'll come back with some more details on about the logistics as far as the incentive program
Okay.
before we approve the
All right.
whole idea of the survey.
I'll make a motion to approve the survey that was submitted to us as is. And we'll come back with incentive program for people that do the survey.
I'll second that.
On the question,
On the question, when you say as is there an open-ended comment section for them to
I'll
fill out?
make that addition. And there was actually Alderman Winger requested that we add in a question directly about the garbage can, so I'll make that addition as well.
okay, so in the motion, I would do the changes that was discussed. Does secondary agree?
I'll second.
Okay.
Second
All in
agree.
favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, our other item on the agenda is LI waste containers. As you know, there is a pilot program is going on as we speak along Wooddale Road and a few of the residents in the neighborhood. I guess Jeff is going to bring us up to date with that and going to bring us up to date with options 1, 2, 3, and 4 and the new company that could be providing these to us if it gets down to it.
Yeah, I put this item as information only because originally we had committee had directed staff to run a pilot program, and I would just want to give a quick update on the pilot program. That program started a couple weeks ago along Wooddale Road, and also some smaller pockets in town, a house here or there. And so far, I've heard back mostly positive things. I've actually got a couple surveys back already, and every survey that I've got back indicated that they wanted the can, and the can was beneficial to them, and there was also no complaints about size. I know size was a concern about. I actually asked. I stated the question in the survey: would size be a problem for you? Would storing be a problem for you? And in each survey I got back, the resident has said no. And I've only gotten back a handful, but that's just the early results. Also, I wanted to go over another scenario since we last talked about this at the last committee. I don't know if Alderman Subak, you wanted to talk about your conversation.
Mr. Chairman,
Oh,
I had asked Jeff to put this back on, and again, I don't know why it was information only, so we'll procedurally be our hands tied, but after we had sent out the surveys and after Mr. Vandermolen gave his presentation, I had an opportunity to meet with Mr. Vandermolen because I thought, he actually agreed that Alderman Ptolemy was correct on the figures that the residents shouldn't have to pay for this garbage can 3 times over. So I asked him, if push came to shove, could we do this as a purely optional program? And could the residents buy the garbage cans on their own, and would Allied still do it? And he came around finally and said, yes, Wooddale could do it as an optional program. It's not mandatory. And then he said he would put us in contact with their suppliers. And so he just said we would have to get through the logistics of how many cans do you need to buy at a minimum, how would they get delivered, and then Allied would even, if we wanted to, have them maintain them at a cost of $0.25 a month. But now it looks like with the 10-year warranty, we probably wouldn't even need that. So I wanted this to be put on because I know that the study is still ongoing. But when we think about who we gave these to, a couple volunteers, we gave them to the alderman, and then maybe everybody on Wooddale Road. Those people on Wooddale Road didn't know they were coming or not coming, and I thought even if those people on Wooddale Road say, you know what, we hate them, there still might be 11,500 other people that want them, and by option should have the option, especially if it won't cost any money for anybody else. If they want it, they should be able to do it as an option. So I was hoping to bring this back and say, you know what, let's approve the program as an option, and if it's only 50 people that take it in year 1 and it grows from there, so be it. But at least the people who are getting the garbage cans can pay for the garbage can and get the better service. The only caveat I would put on it is I think that we should put, because of the size of them, and now Jeff has found we could go with the company as multiple sizes, there should be a requirement that these need to be stored inside. So if somebody takes it to use it, we have a local ordinance that says these garbage cans need to be stored probably on the inside or at least the larger ones because of the size of them. And we don't have these blue, green, or whatever, brown, whatever color you guys elect to go with all over the place outside. But because it could be done as an option, we could actually move on it quicker than waiting for those studies to come back.
Alderman Sharp, and then Alderman Coles, Alderman Sharp.
Yeah, I tried mine one day and it didn't work. Sorry to say it, I wish it did, but it wouldn't fit anywhere where it would be hidden, where it wouldn't stand out. Now, in talking to you, I found out that there's alternative colors. We can get green or brown perhaps, so it won't stand out so much. Another problem I had besides the size, where it wouldn't fit into my shed or any place, is when I put the garbage out, I put it in a garbage can with a bag, plastic bag in it, so that when they take the garbage, the can is clean and I don't have the smell of bits of food left in there. I couldn't find any hardware store with bags that would fit the two containers, the two sizes that we're looking at. We're looking at 95 gallon and what was the other one? 75 is the one you gave to me, right?
There's 95, 65, and then there's been some more developments if you want me to go over the information that I got today.
Okay,
Got
yeah,
some new
if there was a
information.
smaller one where the size would be available at the regular hardware
Yeah,
store,
I
and it would fit in my shed a little bit smaller, then I'd go for it, as long as we went along with what Alderman Subak was saying about not, so everybody doesn't have to do it. It'd be nice to have everybody do it, but everybody may not want to. So you should have that alternative. Thank you.
would you like me to go over the new
Can I
information?
get Alderman Coles first? Alderman Coles?
The only thing about doing it partial is somebody might come along that wants one and don't want to pay for it, and the next thing you know, yours is gone. You ever think of that? Because that happens. That happens. When the wind blows, they roll around, and the next thing you know, somebody's painting their name on your garbage can. So you have to be real careful when you say partial. My wife loves it. We made a spot in the garage, and we got a 75, and she's got a perfect spot, and she rolls it out every Monday. She won't even let me touch it. So, as far as a woman's concerned, she's not a spring chicken. And I'll tell you what, she rolls it out every morning, every Monday, and she loves it. And I don't even touch it anymore. But
Doesn't have
we
an
got a
engine.
spot in the garage, and it's perfect.
Okay. Jeff?